Recording in progress. We've got 4 board members here, 2 remote, and we got a bunch of people online. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda from anybody? Bobby and Tracy, you guys are all good? Francesca, you all good? Sure. Okay. Members of the public. Francesca, you all set for additions or deletions?
I'm all set.
Okay, thank you very much. Dana, I think you're the only, Dana and Kendra for public. Do you have any comments or thoughts or?
No, sir. I just wanted to thank you for being present at the meeting, and I appreciated your thoughtful contribution to that. Thanks for showing up for us.
The task force she's talking about.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure. Yeah, and there was a lot of good people. Dwight was there. He represented the district because he's chairing that committee also. So, Dwight's staying really on top of it too. So if you have anything that you can think of, make sure you reach out to Dwight too.
I appreciate you guys working on this. Thank you so much.
Okay, Kendra?
Sounds like Juno.
Nothing here. Just following along.
Okay, well, thank you. I see staff Bridget and Anne Marie, right?
Yep.
Anne Marie, do you have anything for members of the staff?
No, thank you. I'm just listening in. Thanks.
Okay. Hey, Bridget, how about you?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bridget. Moving along really quick. We just killed half an hour. How do we have half an hour for those items?
Sometimes people talk.
Oh, cool. Okay, I know Bridget probably will want to comment on IB. Why don't we start on the IB? Let's kind of do it a little backwards. Let's talk about the pause. You were gonna, Tracy, I don't mean to point at you, but you were gonna check with, you said maybe some wording, because we keep saying pause, they were saying suspension.
They say suspend, and
Okay.
that is the language that we will probably have to use.
Okay.
I know you don't love it, but so there were a few questions that you wanted me to answer. It took me, she finally got back to me today, so the 11th hour, but we're all set.
Okay.
So someone asked if we suspended, would there be a reinstatement fee? No, there will not be.
Okay.
She said, because the suspension would be effectively postponing our reevaluation, we would have to pay the evaluation to pay that once we came out of suspension.
Which we would anyways.
You're right, if we were to move forward. And then there was the, is there specific language? Now, she said, my question was, is there language that should be shared as a part of a motion? And she answered me, there is language you have to share with the broader school community about the suspension. And she shared with me like their generic letter that we would send out. So basically it would say, through conversation with the school leadership and upon careful review of Dover Schools program, the IB has determined that your school is eligible for and would benefit from a suspended status for the duration of 1 year hereafter the suspension period for the following reasons. And she said that the best one that we could choose would be to align to district strategic goals, including creating sustainable funding for the continued growth of the program. And then there's, a whole bunch of jargon that comes after that to make it all nice and neat. Then the last question was, would they support us if we were to continue with IB coming out of the suspension? And she said yes, they would meet with us quarterly, we would go over a plan, and we would not have to do our reevaluation until 2 years after we came out of suspension.
Oh, okay. So I think that really settles everything that we'd asked. Are there any questions of Tracy? Kate, you and Meredith are reps on that group.
I think that answered most of the things we had from last week. I'm trying to think that if there's anything else that, the community or parents of the school would want to know. but I think that meets what we were kind of looking for information.
Okay, Meredith?
I agree.
Eli, you all set, sir? Mike and Dwight?
Good.
Okay, so I guess I didn't hear it exactly, but the motion would be that we vote for a 1-year suspension of the IB program at the Dover campus of the River Valley Unified School District. If somebody would like to make that motion.
I'll make it.
Okay.
I'll make
So
it.
your motion is that the River Valley Unified School District suspend the IB program at the Dover campus
Yes, sir.
for 1 year.
Yep.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Eli. So now comes the all-important discussion. Is there any discussion on this that we haven't discussed over the last, since March of last year, March, April of last year?
I'll start. I feel better about doing a suspension with more time to kind of get like analyze versus like saying that we're like, ending the program altogether without doing more due diligence. So I feel better about that part, that we're not fully walking away yet, that we're giving ourselves time to research and think about it more.
Make a thoughtful decision versus, and
And
also,
involve more stakeholders and keep everybody aligned.
and it's still, I believe, the intent of the board that we would bring this to the voters too before we just made a final decision. Is that everybody pretty much in agreement with that? It's kind of been where we've been at for the entire discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Eli.
No, I was just saying yes.
Okay. Anybody else, any other comments? So Tracy, we get that letter out right away?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's really not, nobody's gonna see any difference right now after tomorrow versus today. It's not gonna be like the sky's gonna
The
become
sky's
gray.
not gonna fall, I promise.
Okay. You promise.
I promise.
Chicken Little says. Okay.
Did we vote?
Is there something on the TV? Yeah, we have to vote. Okay. So if there's no other discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please signify so by saying aye.
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 It appears to be a unanimous decision in the affirmative. It is. The only thing I would like to stress is, Kate and Meredith, we really need to really get the people together and get going on the survey. Kind of the survey is that something that the committee should review? We did buy ourselves a little time, but budget is gonna be right around the corner. And before you know it, you're gonna blink and winter's gonna be over, thank gosh. And it's gonna be time for our annual meeting again, and we need to be prepared at this annual meeting to present this to the voters.
So the committee has already seen the survey.
Yep.
2 meetings ago, I think, and then you guys have seen it most recently. You had some changes or corrections, which the new version should include those.
Yep.
And if you guys are good with it as written, then Renee will send that out. And then I think once you have an end date for when you'd want to leave that open for, I think then the committee could schedule the next meeting based around that so that they can review the data.
Okay, so
Is that
Kate,
getting distributed by the school or by the SU, or how is that gonna be distributed?
I think it's gonna come from the school, and then I think maybe in conjunction with folks in the town, and there must be some town email lists or something to get stuff out
Yeah,
there.
Does AD have a
I don't know if he does, but I think that what I would like to see is I'd like to see it come from the SU.
Okay,
And I'd like, because not Meredith, Renee was gonna be running that, working with that group with Kate, and let her send it out. And I think, but you can access, she can send out to your email list, right? The school email list, the Wardsboro email list. I think it would be worthwhile to take a small ad out in the newspaper to put it out there and where to go online to get a copy of it. And I think we just need to really talk it up, make sure it shows up in the minutes.
I don't know if the newspaper is able to, but we could even do it with a QR code in the paper.
I don't know, but yeah. The other thing is, I'd like to talk about how long we leave it open, because it would also be really good for it to be in the Bucketville News, but that will come out in a couple weeks, so I think we would need to get that out pretty quick. And is there still that front porch forum in Wardsboro? There was
no.
Kate, do you know of any place we can get it out?
I think there might be some type of front porch forum. I'm not on that. I mean, there's always other forms of social media. Like there's
You do?
Next door is the one that we utilize in my neighborhood. So, I mean, there's ways of doing that, but I don't know if Wardsboro Snow Mountain Farms is our target. But yeah, we want to make sure that.
I'm on it, I don't use it really, but,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm on it.
You're on it. Oh.
Is this,
But we don't want it to come from me, we want it to come
No,
from.
if you can just give them how to get if sent to the central
well, once we
office,
have it sent out, I think you could then,
forward it out.
you could put it out, you guys could push it out on other social media as well.
Okay.
Once we have it set up. But Rich, is this a Dover thing or a River
No,
Valley
it's
thing?
a River Valley.
So it's going to Wardsboro as well?
Right, River Valley
Okay.
parents are going River Valley voters are the ones who are going to vote on this.
All right. I just wasn't sure when, if that had, so that it all happened after the merger then?
No, it happened before the merger.
Gotcha, okay, but you're still going to the full.
And then when we did the merger, we met as a before we operated a school, we met to discuss whether we were going to do IB in the entire district. The decision was made not to do that because felt we would be stronger in the future if both schools are doing exactly the same thing. It's really easy for the state to wave its magic wand and say, "You are one now, be one." But we thought if we had two separate kind of focuses, then it's harder for them to say, and that's why we're trying to separate out the international stuff here, technology stuff there.
So the survey talks about your association with Dover School. Should there be an option of that I'm a Wardsboro resident
Yes.
as one of those options
Yeah.
that we can distinguish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know there were some parents in Wardsboro when we were first discussing it wanted to do the IB because they liked the international language portion of it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of how much they're gonna know about being able to answer questions if their kids
Right.
haven't been in the school.
Yeah, and they may not. But I just, and again, it's not even so much too just to get out all the responses, but it's also to get it out there that we're discussing this and, if they have some thoughts or input,
Yep,
to
okay,
please get
I
back to
think the
us.
whole district voted for STEAM in Wardsboro.
Yes,
So,
well,
okay, all right.
yeah.
well, we've also voted to keep the IB, not.
Yeah, and the whole district voted for
Right.
IB as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That helps.
that's why I think it's really important that it's we're one district.
Yep, oh, for sure.
You
Okay.
know.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, this has not been easy and it's taken a while and we appreciate everybody's patience. But again, it's not a decision that was made in a meeting or even in a year. So to do away with it, I think is going to take a while too. Tracy, thank you too. You put a lot of effort into this. You really moved this forward for us. So again, we appreciate that. So is there any more IB discussion? Oh, you got some more people that came
Just
in.
popped in, just one.
Just one?
Well, no, there's
I
a
have-
whole bunch.
Okay.
I have one for question number 7 on the survey. Or no, I'm sorry, for number 6. For question number 6 on the survey, they were going to do a Likert scale, and it's how likely is it that your child will pursue an IB education after they graduate from Dover School? Would it be appropriate to also put an NA, not applicable, on that one too? Because if a community member is taking the survey, that wouldn't apply to them.
All right, I'll see how that works. I think the questions, I don't know how those, I think the Likert scale ones, you have to have numbers in that range. I don't know if you can have
You can make it not.
Can one?
You can make it not, you don't have to fill it.
oh, it's true.
Define
Non-required,
if not
right.
applicable. Yeah, something like
Or,
that.
or would one of the scales be, one of the numbers be, it's not, no.
I feel like they usually have, sometimes they have an NA on it, even if it has 1 through 6.
Yeah, who's thinking about how we frame this, but that's somebody else's department,
We'll
so,
figure it out.
but I'll make sure that they have that concept in place, yeah.
Thank you.
And not to nitpick, but there is no numbers after that one too. Whereas the rest of the Likert scales are 1 through 6.
Yeah, I think they're all supposed to be the same. Yeah. Good catch.
And I think I asked this again too. I mean, does everybody know? I have no clue what a Likert scale is. So is one good or one bad?
Depends how you define it, but it would say the outside points would be labeled.
Okay.
And then
No,
people can
so-
pick any way they want on that.
So this is not really what's going to go out. This is
No. This is just
okay.
the text of how to put the deal.
You know, golf confuses me because the object is to be low, not high. But every other sport, the more you get, the better you are.
When I ride golf, Rich, I go high. So.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what. Let's get through the transportation update. Oh,
So is this,
IB
is this good then?
programming
Is it, we
motion survey.
are good to
Yeah,
roll
the
with
survey's good, right? I don't think we have to vote on it. Does anybody have any issues, or are we blessing it to move forward?
Sounds good.
Okay, I'd say by consent, you're good to move. Tracy, I know we asked for something from you for the route update, and we have it in front of us. And this was just for that additional stop at the Gray Ghost.
Yes, and Lori wanted me to say, she said that you might recognize this. So there used to be a stop at the Gray Ghost years ago for the people that owned it. It was 3 girls.
Right.
I'm not going to say their last name because that's weird. But it was a stop for years.
Right.
So she said, just so that it's not confusing, when she sends out the bus routes 30 days before the beginning of school next year, she'll put all of the stops on there and then whittle it down to what we need per student. Like, she doesn't put things on there if we don't have any students living around there.
Right.
So that was the
Okay.
confusion.
But then some up here.
But then some appear.
No, and you know what? It's these are where our possible stops are, and if nobody's there, it doesn't. You're not going to just stop if nobody's there. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think we should just make a motion to approve the bus stops as presented by Tracy, as presented by the admin.
I'll make that motion as well.
Gosh, you're making a lot of motions
I'm just
today.
man
already.
on fire. I got places to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
So
That-
we
that
have a
one
motion to
burden.
approve the bus routes for the Dover campus. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, Meredith beat you to it. That's what. See, you're on delay, Kate. And
No worries.
so you're gonna have to start anticipating. Okay. I have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It appears to be a unanimous decision in the affirmative. It is. That passed. Tracy, you were getting stuff passed today. You're gonna get upset if we don't pass something. Electric bus update. I think we had it there because, Kate, we were talking and the bus was running in the afternoons and then it wasn't, and we just make sure everything's still good.
You guys had asked, just wanting to update on like how are we
Yep.
using it for both runs, every other run? What's
Right.
what's it look like?
Well, so it depends on it. Honestly, it depends on the weather. If it's a cold morning and it takes the bus a smidge bit longer to warm up, because we don't charge it in the middle of the day because the charging station is in the middle of our playground.
Right.
He won't use it for the afternoon run. But if it's a lovely warm day,
It seems to have enough charge.
I have a question about
it just
that.
depends.
I know that we voted, or not we, I think it was before I was on board, not to put the power where they park the buses, so it makes it so that we can't charge the bus during the day.
Well,
I mean, they can't
it was
use
a
in-
lot more money to
Right,
run
that was my
the.
question.
Yeah.
Was it, how much more money was
Like-
it? Would it be worth looking into at some point?
It was more than the money. It was also
What is that?
I have no idea.
the further it went, it also would take longer to charge, but it was more expensive as well. Like you're running a long extension cord all the way down.
It is close to Halloween.
I don't know what the cost was, but it was extensive.
It was 30.
But
I
you also
thought.
lost amperage as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
really? That's a lot?
Because of how long the run was, he had some number for every
Yeah.
10 feet or whatever, you lose a little bit of power. So you basically
But
didn't get the full
mostly
effect of it.
right, but it was mostly the cost. It was.
But the cost was quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah. I had a question.
Well,
Go ahead.
no. Are you all set? Okay. Go ahead.
So Trace, just to So, JC, you're saying, are they saying that they're not able to charge between the morning and the afternoon run at all?
'Cause it's right out by the
Because
playground.
of its location?
Yep.
Okay, that wasn't my.
I mean, we can, it's just, but like we won't be able to on Tuesdays and Fridays because that's the
Yeah.
day that Dave goes to Wardsboro. So he's not here to like move it back and forth.
Oh,
And, I mean, he
but
could.
it can be done if they needed to.
Yes, it's just,
It's
Well,
not
But you
convenient.
also want to keep the other bus running, right?
No, I just want to make sure, because that was
Right.
one of the reasons we put it there. We thought we could charge it if we needed to between runs. I don't want to, if we can't, that would be a
Kids
real
outside
bummer.
almost every hour, right? Playing like
So-
on the playground almost every hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
but it doesn't take a licensed bus person to move it. Anybody can move it as long as they're not having students. Well, no, she has another janitor
I'm
in the
gonna be on
building.
the cameras watching when she moves it, that's all I'm gonna say.
No, there is, don't we have another janitorial staff in the building? He can move it, he just can't have kids on it. Anybody can drive a bus, it's just you can't drive it with students on it.
You without a license?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
mean-
gonna check on that.
I don't
I'm not sure,
recommend
I'm not
it,
sure.
but okay. Yeah.
I mean, no, you don't want anybody just getting in it, because I mean, you gotta be able to
Is
use,
anyone
be able to
insured?
back
Like,
it up.
Yeah.
If they backed into something, would it still be insured?
Yeah,
It'd be sure.
as long as they're a licensed operator.
I'm down with some wild stuff, Rich. But that's not over 26,000 pounds.
Yeah.
They're just moving it on the ground, they're not taking it on the road, I mean,
Well,
whatever, okay.
Well, as long as they-
Doesn't matter.
I will,
What I heard Mike say is call him.
I'll
Call.
call
Yeah.
you. Okay, just give me a call.
okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think it's good to be able to, if, the point was if we needed to use it both runs, we can, so that was one of
100%. If
Okay,
it
good.
needed to be charged, we would.
the, we would. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But we also gotta keep Miss Diesel running.
And we're gonna see what the cold weather does. to it
Yeah,
as
we don't know.
Well, no, that was just why I was interested, I didn't know if this cold already
Yeah.
was affecting it, because that would make a bit, that was more my kind of, when Kate and I were talking.
So have they been doing any runs, both runs? Have they tried that? It's worked out? Were they able to do?
In the morning,
I
yeah,
mean, so far, obviously, the weather we've had so far.
right.
I think for the first 2 weeks Dave used it, he used it morning and afternoon, like when it was
great.
still like 80 degrees outside.
Yeah,
Have they noticed any, are we keeping track of how much fuel we're using compared to last year?
Am I?
No, well, I didn't say you, I said a we.
But
I
yeah,
said, or someone.
I'm sure I could find that out for you.
Great.
but
I'm
we,
just curious.
we get bills from the town, I mean, the
So
town.
Yeah,
we'll
the
know
town.
once we get bills from the town.
It's gonna happen.
Great. I'm just kind of curious.
Well, maybe
I haven't
be
heard a whole
less.
lot about this. I'm kind of curious how it's going.
Because with it running in the morning
Yeah.
and it heating up, I mean, the you know, you start the bus up in the morning and the
Yeah.
diesel and it runs for an hour, and
Right.
then it maybe gets off the low setting.
I thought there was also an app that the driver could use to turn the electric bus on prior to showing
Right,
up.
but then he does that earlier, then it's less charge for later.
Yeah, it shouldn't take too much, but I'm curious. Yeah, it does a little.
Well, that was again why this was on
Yeah.
there was if
Sorry, I've got so many questions.
if this
I haven't heard
cold
much about it.
if this cold is already
Yeah.
affecting it,
Yeah.
you know, it may be in the winter when it's zero, it may not make a whole morning run.
Let's
so.
let's talk again in a month or two and see how we do.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Glad to see it in action.
Are you guys all set? We kind of ignored you. I don't like this spread out table. Mike, you good? I know you.
delay, but
I know you love the electric bus.
yeah.
It's a long ways over to that side. Meredith, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Kate and Eli. I see thumbs up. Cool. Let's I got a bunch of new people on from TV, so we're just real quick. We'll run around. Becca Green, I think, is a parent, and Dale Sherman parent, and Leanne Mail.
Liana.
Pardon?
Liana.
Liana is a parent, and Alan is a parent. Casey Eaker is
Keegan Eaker is she's a employee at Leland and Gray.
She's the WCA
Yes.
president.
okay, and Rebecca McGrail is a parent.
Parent.
Okay, so Becca Green, do you have any comments as members of the public?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. Dale?
No.
Thank you. Liana?
No, all set.
Alan? Afraid to ask this one.
No comments, Rich.
Thank you, buddy. Casey, I'm not sure. Do you have any comments? Because I don't think you're really staff because you're not our staff. What are the things? Is it trees on the other side?
Yep.
It's Keegan.
Keegan. Keegan. Only once, only twice. Rebecca.
I'm all set.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I think I got everybody right.
Yes.
Okay. VEHI, VSBIT proxies. So Bob, I think you go into that. So we just need a motion to give Bob River Valley's proxy for the VEHI and VSBIT, which is the insurance stuff, Vermont Educational Health Insurance Trust, and
Not give it to me, you give it to their board of directors.
He's giving it to their board of directors. Okay. So could somebody just make a motion and then I'll sign those for the chair to sign the proxies for their board to have enough votes to do their business.
So moved that we give the VEHI and VSBIT proxies power to vote on our behalf
The chair to sign.
and the chair to sign off on it.
Thank you. Do I have a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Thank you, Eli. Is there any discussion?
Giving it to?
We're giving it to the VEHI and VSBIT board.
Okay,
So, but I have to, you gotta authorize me to sign it.
okay. How much, do we have any, like, if we were there, what are they voting on? I still don't understand.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry,
think
but
it's the,
it might be something really,
At the annual meeting, the agendas are here for both those meetings are in your packet.
yeah, it's like any other board of directors meeting.
And this is their annual meeting, so it's just not a regular business meeting.
So it's on the 21st,
and
which
what are
is
they,
tomorrow.
what are they voting on?
The-
Are they voting on the board of directors, and who is the board of
The
directors?
information, I don't know exactly
Yeah,
what they
that's what
voted
they've
on.
been
I've
voting
never,
on.
They
I've
don't say
never
anything about
gone.
votes, so that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's action that comes up from the.
Well, you got election of directors. So do you wanna go up there tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
It's
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's tomorrow at
Oh,
8
it's the
o'clock.
30th. Oh, this one's the
Oh,
21st, one's the 30th?
yeah, one's at 8:15 and one's at 8 o'clock on the 30th. Tomorrow's the 21st. That's at Lake Morley in Fairleigh. There's a really good auction there on Saturdays. Once a month, yeah. Your husband would like it. I don't think you would so much.
No, you never know.
It's an equipment auction.
I like auctions.
Okay. Going once. Going twice. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Who seconded that?
Aye.
You?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, appears to be unanimous decision in the affirmative.
You have the originals?
I don't know. I don't think
Well, I
so.
don't anymore, I think I left them with you, they're colored. But they wouldn't be, you had, I think from the last meeting maybe.
I don't think I have them right here. I'll go online. I'll figure it out.
Okay,
We'll do that right after this meeting, Bob. Okay,
can't wait.
policy adoption.
So the policy that's in your packet is actually the wrong policy, I think. I'm not
Did
sure
you
why
link,
this one
did you
is,
link the right one?
I'm not sure what's linked, to be honest with you.
The
This
investment
is-
policy.
Yeah, well, there had been a question about the investment policy, and Heidi and I had to research, and she was looking for it, so it wasn't on the website, so I found that you guys had adopted it, we put it on the website. But that's not what we're supposed to be talking about. What we're looking at is the adoption of the
The wrong link here
the
too.
behavior credit assessment.
Okay.
The
We
link
have
is
to,
wrong, as I said.
Is it, no, this is,
the link should,
this is the same as that one?
The link is F11 is what she's saying. So it is not to F5 that we were looking at tonight. So should we pause that until the next meeting?
right, we need to make sure that's linked right, so that if anybody has any questions.
So we're not gonna vote on that tonight?
I'm not gonna vote on that tonight. Okay. Is everybody good? That's it for old business. We're gonna hit new business. We got a couple things. So you wanna just let Greg know that we're gonna be
He's on deck.
on deck. Okay, so Mount Snow Daycare update.
I need to recuse myself from this item since that is the Vail Resorts is my employer, and I don't have public access to talk about it.
Okay, so we have a 5-member board, makes it a little interesting. Mount Snow Daycare update. So there was a request, Bob, that there was some information going around and a bunch of stuff in the newspaper about the Mount Snow is closing their daycare. And what we put this on the agenda because we did not know if there's any way we can assist through either central office or through River Valleys. We're not going to run a daycare, obviously. We have enough trouble trying to run a school. But was there any, Tracy, no, did,
They extended it for the year, so they are good through June.
okay.
They did have a meeting of some, I don't know exactly who was there, I know Laura was there. And I think that they are okay for now. I think that was the biggest problem, was that they gave them a month at
No
first.
notice, right?
So I think they extended it through June, as from what I know, and then they're gonna try to figure out where to go from there. I think there's a few different options. I think
Okay. Tracy, I was just going to ask you had you heard anything? Had you had any requests? Could we maybe do something with because obviously we used to have a bus stop up there. Do we need to change stops? I know some people are looking at different places. We wanted to let people know that the school will do what we can, but we're not in the daycare business.
I've not heard anything, nor has Lori.
Okay. But it sounds like everything got taken care of for temporary.
For the emergency, yeah.
Okay, so we may want to just, as we move forward, we may want to just think about, because obviously a lot of parents will rely on, because they can't leave in the middle of the day. So it was nice that, the bus, our transportation gets them up there, or we still stop by Kids in the Valley, right? Too, or not?
Kids in the Country.
Kids in the Country, yeah. So, we've got some, we do assist that way, and just, if we need to offer any assistance that we could. I was just thinking it, because if parents can't get their students to here and they get to a daycare, they may choose, if they work in Wilmington, to have their child go to Wilmington instead, because they can get them to daycare easier. There used to be when my kids were in school, there used to be a parent would volunteer to take 6 or 8 kids from here down to, the daycare after kindergarten, because there was no kindergarten bus in the afternoon. So, okay, well, so it sounds like that took care of itself. So I think we should be all set. But let's keep that, kind of put that in the parking lot for the future. And Tracy, if any parents do come to you, and Meredith, if you hear anything, or any parents out there, please just kind of let the school know, and we'll see what we can do to assist with that.
Will do.
Is everybody good? Okay.
Can I bring Kate back in?
Pardon?
Oh, there she is.
Kate, so we're going to talk about Dover stormwater. So this is kind of unique. This is our first time, Kate, I can remember this happening to us. So I am actually going to step down from the stormwater discussion, because I actually run some systems and some associations that whatever you folks make whatever's made for a decision at the school could affect my other association. So I'm going to turn the meeting over to Kate for this item. So have fun, Kate.
Thank you, Rich. All right, so it is linked to the agenda with just a little bit of an email, but pretty much we had a meeting last week, I believe it was, with Carrie and Anna from the Watershed Conservation and Hank from the Vermont Department of Environmental something or other. He was a consultant. And this is an very optional thing that we can do. It is, we can do it, we can choose to not do it, or we can request more information. We have a couple different choices for tonight on what we can do, but we can, pretty much what they're looking to do is do the stormwater with the town. So one of the things that they would do is they might come in and say oh, we can put this little magical garden at the school, but then the school would be on the hook to maintain that garden. So anything that we do, we would be on the hook to maintain it. So we just have to be thoughtful about that. But it's kind of to make sure that the stormwater is kind of that we're mimicking the forest and filtering the water as it happens, because we have a whole bunch of surfaces in our town that are impermeable, so parking lots, roofs, things like that. So the school was one of the sites that met those criteria that this group was looking at within the town of Dover. So that's how it all came about. The town of Dover kind of like had this group come in and is looking at things. So that's kind of a high overview that's not very concise at all. So let me know what you guys have for questions.
Is it, so they would set up a system for us and then we would have to maintain it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not so much a system. It's more like they are looking to do something to mitigate like all of the impermeable surfaces. Because like let's say like a clear example is like a city that has so many paved surfaces and you get a ton of rain all at once. Like all those surfaces aren't going to absorb the rain, so they have to have a place for the water to go. But like we would be on a much smaller scale, so like it would just be having another like a garden or something that would like filter the water and like kind of make sure that the water is all getting filtered and cleaned from the stormwater thing. Bob, were you in? No, Bob wasn't in the meeting. Greg was in the meeting as well with this.
Greg is having connectivity issues. He's not even getting my text right now. But yeah, I understand it is that if you have a piece of property that's over a certain size, then there's a potential future permitting that you would have to do some sort of engineering and modify the land in different ways. Like I know they're looking at it at Leland and Gray as well. So I think, yeah, the opportunity here is to get some grant funding from this program to help offset that cost, because as Kate said, it's a sort of one-time grant to set it up, and then whatever you do, you're going to be adding that expense later on. The trade-off is you're doing something for the community, I would say, because you're helping to make sure the rainwater is being not running off and polluting places, I guess that's the best way to put it.
So, and as the group said, like their goal was to improve water quality, which sounds amazing. They looked at 18 different sites within the town for stormwater treatment sites. The school was one that they kind of was like that they dog-eared because like it is something that the town owns. So that was kind of why they looked at the school. So as I said, we have a couple different things that we could do tonight. We can request more information. We could move forward, or we could say no thanks. So whatever you guys would like to.
In the meeting, Kate, was there a deadline for a decision by this board?
I do not have one recorded from that. I didn't write that down.
There's one thing that says that once the 3-acre rule regulation goes into effect, I don't know what that is, but the grant funding, or when that would be, the grant funding would be much more limited.
So that's a change in the way that it works. Right now, I think there was 10 acres, I believe, that you have to have a certain percentage if you have up to 10 acres, but that's being reduced to 3 acres, which would mean the school property would now have to go through the process when that rule takes effect. I think, if I have that right.
Kate?
Yeah,
Can I, as a member of the public, the school?
yes, as a member of the public,
yeah.
you can share knowledge on this topic.
So it's 3 acres. It's 3 acres of impervious area. The school falls under that, but it's fairly close because there was
It's like
still
295 or something like that.
And they were supposed to check into the solar array, because remember the solar array is not, we don't own the solar array, just the land. And the solar array was possibly supposed to have its own stormwater permit. So they were supposed to check into that and get back to us. And then the other part of it is we need to let them know fairly soon, because they need to do their planning before it snows so they can see what's in there. So you still have time, but it's like we can't wait till next year, because any grant money may be gone.
I think I'd like to know more of like exactly what they're going to do. Like what they're going to do, where it's going to go. Do you know?
Well, it was my understanding, and Kate can correct me, is that they would give us several different options of what would work. And what they are doing is just giving us the plan that we would implement.
And would the grant cover what the implementation as well, or just the plan?
This
So we need more information.
can't speak. Maybe Rich knows the answer to that. I'm gonna be honest with you. At a point, I was hearing robot sounds because it was a lot.
Yeah, so the grant will cover planning and giving some suggestions. Then it would make you eligible for possibly other grants. And when it's early on in the system, early on in the process, we'll stand a better chance of getting a grant versus if when they implement the rule and they say you have all these places, then there's going to be a lot more people looking for the grant funds.
So if there's a grant for the first part, is there any harm in moving forward with the first?
That's what you have.
So,
Yeah.
part? What do you think, Kate? Are we guaranteed a grant if we start the first part of this where they give us plans?
I don't think we're guaranteed a grant, but we do not have to move forward on anything we do not have funding for. Like there's not like we said yes, we'd do it, and then all of a sudden there was no funding. We are not committed to having to do a project. That was my understanding.
Yeah, the way Greg explained it to me, it was that we would have the plan and then we could decide whether or not we wanted to move forward. But if they're going to give us grant funding to just get the plan, then he thought it would be wise, but.
Is there any reason, do you see any reason not to just do that part? If we get the grant funding?
Kate?
I think the only reason to not do it is if we didn't think we were going to move forward with it at all, because then the group would move forward with another site in the community to work on the similar thing on another site in the community.
Kate? So
Yeah.
So then I'm assuming the school doesn't have a permit, a stormwater permit, so that doesn't exist.
We're not sure if one existed for the solar array or not, but I don't believe one exists for the rest of it. And Greg might know more on that.
If we go through the process and get the plans, would we have to follow through with that and then we would receive a permit, or the permit is part of the do you know if that's part of the process?
I can't remember if that was part of the process or not. I'm not certain.
So I have some familiarity. I did a stormwater plan at a condo association, and once you have a permit, they come back and review it every few years, and you have to maintain it. And if you're out of compliance, then you need to,
Get into compliance.
You make it into compliance. But if that, I think we need a little more information. How do we receive a permit, or do we even need one if we were to go through with this? Or is it part of this master plan? We would be a part of this plan, and that would be our permit. Because that also is a cost associated with that as well, to renew that on a yearly basis.
That's what then your experience is that there was a cost to renew the permit?
Yes.
Or
I think it's every 3 years.
Might
But
be
they
every
check
3.
it?
It's not cheap. It's not expensive, but
I got a few
Is it through the
things
state?
I'd like to add
it's
as
through the
well.
state.
okay, go ahead, Mike.
So I have done some state watershed work, and anything they've ever done just looks awful, in my opinion. They will take a nice flat field and put in a dry pond or a sediment pond. So from what my experience is they're looking for disconnect area. So you have the water coming off this roof of the parking lot has to hit grass first, so it can slow down, get all the sediment out, and all that nice stuff. And we have it beautiful out the front. I've never seen ponding there. No silt, no anything. So I wish Rich was here with me. But is it 1.5 times the square footage of the roof and driveway that you need in grass?
That's what they're gonna see.
That's what they're gonna want,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't think we have that on this side of the building. We have it in the back, I'd say we have it left, we have it right. So I would say there's gonna be some kind of pond put in. And usually those are dry ponds, they're just holes with culverts in them.
Right.
And it's some kind of, and a lot of money to put in. Because usually they're lined, they have. So I guess I'd wanna see a plan. And if we can slide under the radar and not having to do any of it, if we're under that 3 acres, I would certainly push to do that. Because,
So we are not under any obligation to move forward with this at all?
oh yeah, if we could move forward and look at a plan, But I fear as if we would have to take all the water that's gonna go this side of the front of the building, and we'd have to either divert it by the ball field and put a pond in. It's pretty much,
Well, they want to take the space where all of our apple and peach trees
Sure.
are.
And put a pond in?
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Because they have to take all that water and make a doggone dry pond.
And I said there are some things down there that I said must be saved, and she assured me that they could.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh.
I've waited 3 years for something to be in my wheelhouse on this board, and we finally found it there. And if we could maybe just look at something, but zero commitment, because they will take the nicest thing and just, it looks great on paper, but you put some grass on it, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, plus there would be inspections to make sure it
Yeah.
stays the same way, and if there's leaves in the ditches, and
Yeah.
they're gonna want you to remove all that stuff, so there's gonna be some maintenance involved as well.
Yeah, once that builds up with silt, big rigs have to come in,
I mean, it's,
take it all out.
it definitely has it has a purpose, I understand that, it has a,
For sure.
it can help, but unless we feel like there's a major problem here. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So what else do we need to know before or do we just want them to?
My
Make-
question to you, all of you, is how would the board like to proceed? Would you like to get more information? Would you like to say no, thank you? Or would you like to move forward? Like, those are the,
I'd hate to leave money on the table if we gotta deal with it at some point. So I would love to find out.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe get a plan, but if the plan's to ruin a 6th grade gift and take something that's working perfectly fine,
yeah,
at least we can say no to that after we see it.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I've worked with engineers on this, and they're not cheap, and to design these plans. And if 3 years from now they said they require all schools to do it, it's going to be an expense. And so we've got some money on the table to get the plans. My fear is though is they find something that they really don't like, and they're going to want to, But you're assuring me, Kate, that that's not the case. That they're just going to present us with something, and then we can decide on it.
Okay.
But I think
So to get more information, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I just like to get assurances that we don't have to move forward, or and that what funds are available if they find something, because we're not, when you find something out, you're probably going to want to fix it, So what kind of funds are available, and also how does the permitting process work, and what are the renewals like, and the inspection, reoccurring costs and inspections.
perfect.
okay. So my list that I've got to take back to them for questions so that we can reconsider this in the future meeting. How do we receive a permit? Are there any reoccurring costs to renew a permit / inspections? And can we look at some type of plan? And that we want to really be clear that, we have some areas that are non-negotiable because they are class gifts or memorials or things of that nature. And then assurance that we don't have to move forward. And then also the question is this something that we would need to do at some point in the future?
How long that permit lasts, or the design.
How long the design lasts?
Yeah, I would also, what current funds are available to us if we do want to go forward.
Like what does the grant?
Yeah, what actual grants are out there?
I'm sure it'll just be for design, because there's so many.
It's just design. They're not gonna.
Yeah, they're not gonna do infrastructure.
It's gonna be the mic grant.
I should have recused myself so I could have bid.
Okay. All right.
We will take those questions back to the watershed conservation and we'll move forward.
Thank you, Kate.
All right, we are going to close that agenda item and we are going to invite Rich back to the meeting and he can resume as chair.
Was it a good book?
It was really cool, but it's 25 years old.
That's a huge polar bear book.
No, it's about a walk through Main Street. It's going through history. Oh, that
Yeah,
one.
look at that.
Tracy's got the best books. Okay, District Foundation document review. So this is just because we were having a discussion and we asked that, excuse me, that a couple things. So there was Bob presented us with this form that we have to fill out with the matrix, and then we got talking about the vision of the school and the there's three things that you have. You have the vision statement, what's the other two, Bob? Mission statement, vision, and the third thing is the
goals would be,
mission, vision.
Yeah.
And so I just said, Bob, we have a mission and a vision. And Bob said, you do? I've never seen it. So I'm like, well, I wonder how many members of the board have. So Dwight has seen this because this was the creation of the district and our mission and our vision. So I just thought it would be good for people to get a copy of this and just look through it. It talks about Act 46 and the votes. And then our mission is to educate our students, become inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring global citizens. Through challenging academic programs, we will provide a safe and supportive environment that will connect our students, their families, and the community while respecting and celebrating each town's local identity. And in the vision, the board works with the community to ensure sufficient resources are available for the administration to do the work needed to meet the district's goals for all students, value for its taxpayers, and a climate and culture that is appreciated by parents and community. All schools within the district shall provide equitable resources and opportunity for all students. And then the goals are every year the administrators in each building are required under part of Act 60 to work on goals and objectives and how we're going to get there. So I thought that would be important as we talk about IB in the future and as we talk about budget. And it is available on the website. Bob did find it actually on the website, which is good. So just want to make people aware of it. And then superintendent's update. So that kind of leads into Bob's district quality standards rubric.
Well, let me start with just a couple of quick updates first. Just a friendly reminder about Wednesday night. Oktoberfest. Coming here to a gymnasium near you.
Lots of root beer.
Yeah, we'll have a fun event. Pietro will be here at 5 o'clock, do the legal training, followed by dinner, and then the board official agenda will take place after that. So lots happening, and we hope to see you there. We have an RSVP of about 30 people so far, including board members and administrators. I confirmed on the RSVP list that it looks like we do have a quorum RSVP, so that's good as long as everybody shows up. I have heard from one board member that the Leland and Gray playoff soccer game will conflict, so they won't be here, but I think everybody else who's RSVP will be okay. So hopefully folks will be here for that. Just want to throw out a little, actually Dwight, we don't have an update for Dwight on here. I guess we'll save it for Wednesday night.
No, we work in that on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I just was thinking, just a quick update on Act 73 stuff that I'm hearing so far. There appear to be 3-ish maps so far. The third one hasn't been presented yet, but one of them is a tech center oriented map, which it's been not decided whether that's SU or SD, but that would be basically Windham County. There is a BOCES map. BOCES is the Board of Cooperative Education Services, and the BOCES map would basically be parallel to, or very similar to the map that was presented by the administration first, the 5 districts. We would be part of a district that starts sort of in Stamford and swoops all the way up to Rivendell, north of White River Junction, because there's only 5 of them in the state. Roughly aligning with the VSA regional superintendent groups. And then the third one, which has not yet been displayed, but is being worked on right now by one member, is a regional high school map, which I think they may be showing soon, so I've been told. So I'm not sure what that means. And again, we don't know if any of these are SU or SD based, but those are what people are hearing the rumblings about at this point. Yeah, and so any questions about any of that before I jump into the rubric?
Well, why don't you hang tight for a second?
Sure.
Dwight, do you want to talk about the meeting on last week? Because I think that was a good follow-up. And Kate, I know I saw that you were there online, I think too.
I was there.
And you were there live,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So the three, if three of you want to just, talk about it a little, I know there was some Dover students and some Dover parents. There was one new Dover parent who actually moved back into town
Yeah.
who spoke. You spoke. I think you spoke, right?
No.
No. Was there somebody else from Dover that spoke?
I don't think so.
Or Wardsboro? But anyways, why don't you go ahead and then we'll let Meredith and then Kate.
Well, yeah, thanks, Rich. So was it last Thursday, was it? There was a meeting at Leland and Gray with the redistricting task force. It was like an open meeting for when it was nice to see that most of the task force was there. The task force is made up of legislators, some former school administrators, and one other type of group of people, I'm not sure. Business people, I suppose. It was nice to see most of them there. What they did was introduce the program, and then they had like a breakout session where you could kind of get more of a one-on-one in different groups with some of the task force and ask questions and get some, just in case you were afraid of speaking in front of everyone. But it was very well attended, and it kind of worked out well. I'm not sure how it worked out for the online people because they weren't able to go into the breakout room to kind of get more of a one-on-one. So that, I don't know if you got that.
It was boring. We were watching.
It was not.
that
Yeah,
walk
but
around.
it was actually, and I wish they had told us that prior. I'm sure you thought the same thing because that was actually very beneficial. I was able to speak to a few of the task force members and talk about our district. And one of them even told me, she said, "You guys are kind of hard to figure out." And I said, "Yeah, that's right. We are hard to figure out. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of everything." So anyway, that was nice because they were looking for information from us as well, in terms of what we're looking for, and how we fit and how this is all going to work. And so I thought that part was good. And then afterwards, a whole bunch of people spoke. Unfortunately, I think this is the only one in Southern Vermont. So a lot of people from the Manchester area came over. So I felt like a lot of people were talking about school choice, but rather than some of the other issues. But luckily, there were some people there from Leland and Gray talking about that as well, about some of the issues concerned for that school. And I was able to talk a little bit about our concerns here that we voted on for the differences between the supervisory unions and supervisory districts, which they wanted to hear about as well, because I think that they have to make that decision, because that's the task force is required to have at least one of the maps include SUs. So I kind of got our 2 cents in there on that. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. I think they're having 3 more. Bob mentioned the maps. I think they mentioned not until early November, or the second meeting in November, will they have some significant maps out there. So there's some out there, but they're very preliminary, so I wouldn't look too much into those until, I think not until mid to late November will they really have some hot and heavy maps that we can really take a look at. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see anything until the last moment, what they're actually presenting. But overall, it was a good meeting.
There was a lot of people from London, not Londonderry.
Londonderry.
But what was that other school district that they were talking about?
Floodbrook, maybe?
Floodbrook.
A lot of the mountain towns represented. They call the mountain towns, up in Landgrove, Weston, Peru, and Londonderry, and those areas came. Winhall. So they call them the mountain towns.
For a while, it seemed like they outnumbered everybody else.
Yeah, they were
well organized.
They're organized and they're vocal, for sure. Yeah.
Meredith, and we'll go to Kate.
Yeah, I did hear mostly people that were very concerned with the direction that it felt like they were going. I guess there was a map that was leaked or something, but some people saw that that split Manchester in 3, and I think most of the people that live here and there, or a lot of people, we kind of talked about or heard other people talk about that had moved there for school choice. I did get a chance to talk to Wendy during the breakout session and just kind of I was a little concerned because it didn't seem like she had any idea of this area at all. She was kind of like, felt like I was introducing her to it a little bit. So, and I guess from what I see, they don't seem particularly thrilled with the whole process as well. The timeline is completely unrealistic to the people on the task force. So that was another kind of flag for me. But I'll be interested. I'm going to try to attend some other meetings virtually just to see, because I want to see, you know, kind of what other people in different areas are saying. Because I feel like we're kind of in our own little world down here. Yeah. I mean, I think it was a meeting. I don't know if it was. I don't know how to take it. It seems like they're presenting what they want to present. So
the feedback I did get from people at the state level, they were very impressed with how well we put the meeting on. They said it was one of the cleanest buildings they've been in. They were impressed with sort of the welcoming, there's kids out there with this coffee and the whole 9 yards, that's not something they've normally seen, and that they felt very welcomed in our SU, so that's good.
I think the biggest thing I got from it was everyone wants to keep things how they are. I mean,
Yeah. You know, one of the things I talked to, I'm sorry. I spoke to this Representative Holcomb was there, and one of the things I mentioned was like there's already changes in this law that we're going to have to adhere to in this district. And one of them is our classroom sizes. That's going to be there no matter what happens with this map, as well as there's some changes to school choice. So what I basically said was, give us a chance to try to adhere to that, because we're going to have to make those changes either way. It looks like, at least for the short term.
I think there's also someone that mentioned, like, it seems like a lot to throw out, like, to change everything all at once, especially when we don't have reports back. We don't have the numbers saying that it's going to lower our tax bill, which is part of the reason we're doing this. So I think that was concerning to a lot of parents as well.
Definitely.
So they make all these changes and just completely shift the whole education system around, and then we end up paying more for education.
No, just remember too, it's not always about savings, but about more opportunity. If you have bigger groupings, you may have bigger opportunities. That's what I keep getting reminded by people.
Okay.
Are you all set? And I can go to Kate?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Kate.
So I did it as an online participant like Rich did, and it was definitely a tricky format for online participants for that first hour, because I'm really glad that you guys had some good networking in the room and that some really good ways to participate. I did use that time to like fill out the survey online and to dive into their website a little bit more and things like that. And as Meredith said, like they're having more they're having more of these meetings. So, I mean, like it doesn't always make sense for us to drive up to Rutland or something like that, but we can join virtually. So if people didn't get a chance to go to the one here, there still is an opportunity to go to these other meetings as a virtual participant, or if you wanted to drive, feel free, go ahead and drive. But yeah, it definitely was a tricky thing doing it. And I got the same vibe that the task force felt that the timeline was really aggressive, that it was all very aggressive and all of that, but they're trying to do their best to put things together and move forward. So I think it makes a lot of sense for people to make sure they're filling out the survey, sending in their feedback. Let me see. Where's my text thread from Thursday night? There is an email where you can send feedback to, and that email is adm.redistricting@vermont.gov. So if people have feedback that they want to send their thoughts and comments to, that is available too. So that was what I took away.
Thank you, Kate. I just remember too, everybody, that the committee has to supply up to 3 maps, but 1 is required to have, like you said, the SU. But it also says the legislature can use any or all or none, and there's no requirement for the legislature to actually do anything at all. I kind of really agree with Dwight a little bit that they took care of some issues that they wanted to deal with, such as the tuition. There's 18 schools now that you can pay public tuition, no more out of state. And I think they also, the other thing class size. They did institute class size, but it makes no sense because what if you're a district of Windham County and you only have 12 students? You're never going to make the class size. There is a committee of the state board on small by necessity, and it's got another term for it. Scarce, yeah. I know that we talked about it last week at our state board meeting. Tammy Colby is chairing that committee. Tammy Colby is the one that helped give out information about the foundation formula. She also testified on the weighting on behalf of the small schools in like Dover and in Windham Central. Very, very, very smart, very involved.
UVM professor, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what she does, but so follow that committee if you can, and make comments there. One of the things I was really pushing with her too is the same thing I mentioned the other night about window time, windshield time. For younger kids, as we get older. And we may be able to drive for an hour and a half would be nothing. But Tracy, I think you may know, I thought you and I had a conversation one time. Putting a kindergarten kid on a bus for an hour is just crazy. I guess some of the committee commented afterwards, I heard back that, even in Burlington, they drive for 40 minutes. So it's, they don't think it's a big deal. But again, driving 40 minutes through southern Vermont on some of these state roads that are barely a state road is a lot different than driving on the interstate around Burlington. And I don't know what they all are, but I think we need to, we just need to keep pounding that point that it's, I do understand that a couple of the people that were there actually did drive up to Windham. Or had driven to Windham before and commented on it. So it's, I think we really got to stay kind of just paying attention to it. And Dwight, I appreciate you. And remember that the Windham Central has Dwight, Joe Winridge from the Leland West River Board. We have Dan MacArthur from Marlboro, and Melissa Walker from the Stratton Board. So we have a good mix of people there, and they're very involved. So make sure you talk to them. And again, Dwight, we talked about it last meeting. Dwight's now on the VSBA board. Did we talk about that the last meeting? Yeah. And we still have Joe. Well, we still have Joe on the board, which is really good that Windham Central has 2 VSBA board members for this district. And, we still have a legislator on the Windham Central board, which is at Leland and Gray, Emily Long, who also is on House Ed. And we still have Laura, who's, very involved. As a board member, and there's another representative who has some ties, and I forget who it was. But anyways, so folks in the audience too, those of you that are still here, please really pay attention to this, because this is going to maybe be some major change to how we do business in the area, and it's important for us to be able to. We don't have the votes to do anything, but we can maybe get some things that be less bad for us. Or
I guess I also wonder if they how much they've considered how much it's going to change the entire state, because people move to these small towns to be part of a small town, and if we take away the school board from the towns, then it's going to really.
I think they heard that message. I think almost everyone said the same message.
I felt that way after I left, and then.
Yeah.
Rich, what's the timeline on the state board subcommittee on the scarcity?
I think it's December too,
Still
because
December?
she's. I'm not understanding exactly what that is.
So one of the charges from all this was that the state board is supposed to make some recommendations on small by necessity, So because I'm not on that committee, and I'm doing a committee on debt, which really doesn't apply to almost anybody down this way, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to it. but I have talked to Tammy just because I want to make sure there is something, one of the things that happened with Act 46 is that like Wyndham got an exemption. They didn't, even though Wyndham was part of the West River grouping on some things, they had an exemption because they were kind of, it was an outlier. I forget what the exemption was called, but I went geographic, yeah. So I actually went to a state board meeting with the Wyndham board to, speak on behalf of the SU, saying that Wyndham really is, it's isolated. It's, not a good place to be. It's hard to get in and out.
But the rules, they're recommending these rules around what it means to be considered scarce population or the density piece, because those things will factor into weighting on the foundation formula and things like class size.
Right.
So there could be carve-outs for class size depending on Raleigh if your school is small by necessity, but they haven't told us what that means yet. So that's what the state board is developing those rules, so we know.
Or definitions.
Yeah, the definition. So we know, like, does Wardsboro qualify as small by necessity? And if it does, what does that mean for us around the class size rule? And how does that impact Dover? And so my gut is that most of Wyndham County, with the exception of Brattleboro, is going to be in the scarcity, just based on people per square mile. But that's just my guess.
But they're also going to have
Isn't that most of the state? I mean,
no.
besides big towns?
No, I was just up at Slate Valley, which is in Fairhaven, and I was talking to the superintendent up there, and they had some schools that were within less than a mile of each other, and they were all running the same grades, but because of it was a town and a village and stuff, so they actually closed one of their schools. They were able to close one of their schools, but so it's not, there's some places that there are multiple schools very close to each other.
Okay.
So
That's
again,
where a lot of the inefficiencies are coming
right.
from, those types of situations.
But so they're going to be taking input from the public. So they're going to have a public listening session, and I don't remember when it is, but we
Is
should.
that right before the meeting? Oh, for the scarcity?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
for that subcommittee.
Okay.
And I know because again, they gave us a bunch of stuff to do in a very short period of time. So just we'll try to find that. Let's push that out to everybody, because that would be good to. I think you'll probably have to sign up if you want to testify ahead of time, because they're going to allow an hour or two, and that would be really important. So
Is it the 29th? No, that was there.
they had a meeting just before our meeting last week, and there's another meeting coming at the end of this month. And I don't remember the dates, but we can get them.
I'll find out.
So is everybody okay? Is there any comments on the meeting last week? There's somebody on the right-hand corner. I don't know if I recognize. They're under your list of people. Is that somebody that we?
Eamon.
I don't know who it is.
E-A-M-O-N.
Okay. Maybe no. There's somebody on the screen, EAMON. Can you just either type in the screen or tell us who you are? We have to list everybody for our minutes as attending, and I'm not sure if you're public or a staff member, but I don't believe we called on you earlier. If you had any comment under public, we'll give you a couple minutes to.
Oh, Eamon Dwayne.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. So, Bob, budget, district quality standards rubric.
Yeah, so the Agency of Ed developed this rubric a couple weeks ago, seems like, and released it. And we are now in a data collection window where I have to submit our self-assessment for each district and the SU on everything in this rubric, where we score ourselves. And so from number 15 on are really about boards. The first bunch are, between Heidi, Greg, myself, Jen, HR, different people at the office. A lot of those answers are going to be the same because it's one business office. Some of the emergency operation plans will vary a little bit, probably from district to district, but a lot of those we can handle at central office when I'm filling it out, but the last 9 or so are board level ones. And so the window is pretty tight, and I had to have it submitted by November 11th, which is a holiday. And so what I was hoping to do is have information prior, the week before, on where the boards viewed themselves on this. So I did send out an email today that is a survey option for you guys to weigh into this. You guys can certainly take time in your meetings to discuss it. You guys have more frequent meetings, so you have more opportunity to do that before that deadline. But my hope is by the middle, 6th or so of November, that I know what I'm filling out on behalf of the board for River Valley's district and the other 5 boards, with regards to what degree do you score yourselves on the scale from beginning to approaching to proficient to advanced.
So that is why you have the vision and the mission.
Yep, that's to help you think
because
about.
There's some questions about that in there, and we do meet on November 3rd is our next meeting in Wardsboro. So everybody just take a look at this and we'll run through
So
it.
do you want to do that? You don't want them filling out the survey. You want to do that
we'll fill it
together
out as a group.
Yep,
Right,
okay.
because that, again, it'll be really good to see the mission, and
Yep.
the only other thing is if you can get us the most recent goals,
So that's the SIPs that the schools
Yeah.
have provided. Yep, we can have
just
those
make
SIPs
sure we
you guys.
have them.
Yep.
Homework.
Yeah. Hey, it's school, so we should do homework. Remember, you only get as much homework as you're supposed to have.
That's right.
I don't know, there's something changed or something. Okay, so that's the district quality standards. Does anybody have any other questions, comments? Good job, Bob, thank you. Let's hit budget consideration. So our annual meeting is usually the end of April. I thought there was a date and I did not find my book. But we usually have it after we kind of get a feel for what's going on in Montpelier. So I just thought we should start because we are coming on November and we want to give everybody time to weigh in on budgets, and there may be some other stuff that comes up. So, Bob, maybe the beginning of December we can get a first draft of the budget. I think central office should be done sometime at the end of November, usually beginning of December. So we'll have those numbers to be able to plug in.
Heidi is on the call if you want to ask her about timing from her perspective, she can pull it off.
Okay. Well, I think don't we give direction and then you guys.
Yeah, but here's the thing, just so you guys know, all the boards are struggling with a lot of things. And so several of the boards are already asking for multiple budget drafts at the same time with different scenarios. So just wanted to give you that heads up that Heidi's going to be post the SU stuff. So she's going to be buried. So I just wanted to, you guys, because of how late you vote, or sort of at the end of the priority list as far as the timing goes. But she might be able to pull off, I don't know. There she is in all of her glory in the office.
Remember, we're the one that kept getting put off and multiple budgets were being done for West River for years, and we've never asked for multiple
I know.
budgets. So
Feel free to.
go ahead.
I didn't say that, Heidi, sorry.
No, I'll follow whatever you need. I will do whatever I need to do to get it to you. I am hoping that I have about a month to pull the WCSU budget together with Bob and Jen. So definitely by the beginning of December, we should have an SU budget. And I'm going to start meeting with the principals of River Valley, but if you have a specific date you want a first draft of the budget, I'd love to be able to write it down so that we can shoot for that.
Yeah, I think the second December meeting, because it'll be just before the holidays, and then that will give us some time in January, because we usually have to have ours done by February. The second meeting in February.
December 15th is the second one.
Yeah, it's 10 days from Christmas. Pardon?
First draft by the second?
Yeah, just a draft. But so here's what I'd like to ask them to do, though, because this got brought up last year, is I'd like Bob to work with the administrators and Heidi to put two kind of high-level budgets together. And one would be if we were to combine some of the grades, because we do have some smaller grades coming up, especially in the Wardsboro building. I don't think we can close a building, but I think it would be kind of interesting to see what it would look like if we were to combine more services between the two buildings. Because we duplicate a lot of stuff. We duplicate foreign language in both buildings. We duplicate nursing.
They're not doing foreign language anymore, right?
Not in Wardsboro. They haven't been able to hire someone.
Right, but there's money in the budget. If somebody comes along, we can hire somebody. So, and we've had a lot of things that we maybe would be easier in one building. I don't know if it would ever work, but we've had different people bring it up over the last few years, and I think it's worthwhile just to see what it would look like. I mean, it may be something that doesn't work. Again, transportation is a problem. Remember, this district is not connected by any paved roads that border each other, and to go on the paved roads is not great roads, even though they're a state road. And I think we owe it to the voters and the staff. And I know there's one kindergarten person in Wardsboro, but I don't think you can bring them over here. But it's difficult to have a class of one. I don't think it's great for the student. I mean, why don't we just go back to remote learning? So if nobody has a problem with it, I'd like to just high level look at that early on to see what things we can pull out of that. Does anybody on the board have an issue with that? Okay. So let's shoot for something like that in the middle, that second December meeting, because because I know Leland and Gray, West River's usually earlier than us. They're usually right after, a month or so after. We don't have to finalize a budget. So if you could just give us a rough look, and also, we never know what the grants are from the state. It's really hard to do much, but I think it.
And I think you have negotiations this year, correct?
Yeah, but they'll never be. I'm sure we won't get them finalized until later in the season. The union has until December 1st to get us what they want to negotiate on. So.
I'll put in a number based on some of other stuff that's been going on in the state.
I wouldn't worry about that. What we're more looking for is structure.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be an exact budget. It just has to be a general to see what it would look like if we were able to do something.
Okay.
And also, eventually we do need to consider, we don't know what the rules are going to be, but we do need to consider the class size that was passed. I mean, as Dwight said, that's something in the law that was passed. It's going to happen. That has happened.
Okay. Yep. Then I will work with the principals to do that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. While you're here, let's jump up down to approve the financials. I think we just had the one, correct? Anybody want to? Go ahead, Kate.
I would like to make a motion to approve pay warrant number 21. Hang on, it's opening. In the amount of $447,933.46.
I'll second.
Thank you, Meredith. So we have a motion by Kate, second by Meredith to approve pay warrant 41, pay order 41 in the dated 21, dated 10/20/25 for $447,933.46. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Appears to be a unanimous decision in the affirmative. It is. Heidi, thank you. Good job as always. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Away team. You're up to bat.
All right. Just want to clarify one thing. We have one pre-K student this year, not one kindergartner.
Next year you'll have one kindergartner, maybe.
We have 5 kindergartners.
No, I'm saying next year you may only have one.
Right. I didn't know if that's what you meant, but so I just wanted to clarify.
I remember there was like one child and it seemed kind of, I know there was some discussion if they wanted to do something over in the other building just for more interaction. I think the child chose to stay with you folks, right?
Correct. Yeah, we gave the family a few options and that they chose to stay with us in Wardsboro. We had a pretty busy week. Our SEL team went up to Killington to a forum put on by PBIS, and we also received a grant through PBIS to do some coaching. So I think that's going to be really helpful in our building. We also had our data meetings last week, and that was run by Renee. She did an amazing job, and Sam Sherman also did a great job setting up the new platform that's called NextPath, which we're all using and getting used to. Oh, and our circus show, I think I told you the circus was coming last time. Well, the circus came and it was great. We had a great turnout. The kids, it's just amazing how engaged the kids are with that program. And I hope that we keep that for many years to come. What else do I have to tell you? We also, the principals and some central office staff did a learning walk in a neighboring school district on Friday, which was really interesting. We got to look close up and personal to different classes and how they approach EL and teach EL. And I found it very useful, and we calibrated and talked a lot. So I think it was really good educational leadership conversation. Our conferences are coming up the end of the month. Our fall festival. And the last thing, we partnered with Wardsboro Library and the is it called Curtain Call, Wardsboro Curtain Call, and the school club to bring a visiting musician and author to the town hall. So we took a walking field trip up there, and he did a fabulous job and got us in the spirit for Halloween. And our kids all decorated the town hall, and so that was a really nice ending to a very, very busy week. And other than that, I think we're rocking and rolling over in Wardsboro.
Cool. Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments?
There's also a really busy weekend in Wardsboro because Saturday is the Turnip Festival.
Oh, gosh.
And that is one of the fundraisers that the school club uses to bring programs like the Troy Wonderly Circus Experience. So.
Thank you, Kate. And there's a rumor, I think, that Becca Ballant will be there to award the largest turnip.
Ooh, that's fun.
You have turnips?
So everybody should turn up.
Turn up the turnip.
Saturday. They do turnip soup
25th.
and
Yeah.
turnip fries and
Right. Oh, I actually do like turnip.
it's
You gotta
everything
go.
turnip.
It's
And
Really?
Eli draws a picture of a turnip with his face in the middle of it.
You'll be there.
It is really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm coming just for
Happy to
that.
give you the history of it if you want. If you have time after the meeting, I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, because your kids were involved.
Yeah, my
They
daughter
went
was
to-
part of the
went
group
up to
that went up, and I
Montpelier.
went up with her and signed it into law. A lot of fun.
Okay, thank you. Tracy, you're up.
All those same things that Francesca said. I enjoyed my our time at one of our neighboring schools doing learning walks. Francesca and I actually are partnering together to learn to use a tool, an online tool, to help us with our learning walks. So I'm getting all the information in to the vendor for that. So we'll have some clear data coming out. The Dover School Club had a fundraiser at the Welcome Center in Guilford, and they raised just over $1,300 to help us with our programming, so that was super great. I have a shout out to my teachers here at Dover School. So every fall, winter, and spring when we do benchmarks, we have to send out, we have to acknowledge through Act 139, which is the improvement of reading proficiency, to make sure that we're using evidence-based approaches for early literacy. And there are certain criteria that have to be met in order to notify parents that their child is above or below the level. So we send out letters when they haven't reached a certain threshold. So last year at this time, I sent out 25 letters to families. This year, I've only sent out 14. 11 of which of those letters have children who get tier 3 instruction. So that's students with ESTs, 504s, or IEPs. So that left 3 students that got an Act 139 letter. And then 2 of those students were 1 percentile below the threshold. So we had literally, we've had a huge growth. And I attest that to the way in which our primary unit teaches phonics and phonemic awareness, and the structure in which our AST and EST programs work, and special education. So I'm super happy. Shout out to my teachers and to students who are doing the hard work. So we've shown some huge progress.
Let's have a round of applause for you, because that is very good. And that's huge improvement.
Huge. It's huge. I'm so excited.
And that's really good, because that fits in his rubric too, about how we hear about improvement in the program that's working. So thank you for that. It's really good news to hear.
Super stoked. That's all.
Anybody for Tracy? Okay, but definitely make sure the staff, the round of applause is for the entire group.
I already shouted out to them, and they've been emailing me, like replying to my email, like they did it, which is really great. Yeah, I will let them know that you shouted them out too.
Hugely different from during COVID, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's kind of nice.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm really glad for everybody in the staff, and I'm glad for the students, and the parents should be very proud.
Yeah, 100%.
And the students should be very proud. Sometimes it's hard to get them. I remember there was a lot of discussion at one point about testing, like when the teacher would come in and say, this test really doesn't count on your grades, and people would not take it seriously. In Leland and Gray was a big thing in high school, and so people would just not care and not take the test and just kind of take it as a joke, and then it started affecting when they were looking at the overall student body, and it makes a difference. So it's really good. Okay.
We have trunk or treat on.
Oh yes, trunk or treats
on Friday at 4:30. The setup.
4:30. Okay. You told me 5.
Setup starts at 4:30. 5 o'clock is the contest, so maybe before that.
Okay.
Somewhere closer to 4:30. This Friday. Yeah. Are you ready?
This Friday?
Okay.
Better ready. We're just doing is the judge
Oh, there you go.
So I think we're good with new business. If I missed anything, Kate and Eli, you all set over there? Thank you, folks. You guys all set in here?
The trunk or treat is for both schools, by the way.
Oh, it is for Wardsboro too?
Yep.
Cool. It's nice to see you doing some stuff with both schools.
We tolerate them sometimes.
Do they tolerate you?
No, we love doing it with them. It's great.
Okay. Consent agenda, we have the minutes from the October 6th, 2025 meeting. Is there any comments? Anybody see anything that's good, bad, or indifferent? Hearing nothing, by unanimous consent, I would say we've approved the minutes of the 10/6/25. Meredith, do you have a letter for us?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Executive session. We need to move into executive session for review, evaluation, administration under 1 VSA 313 subsection A subsection 3. If I could get a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Kate moved, Mike seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 I have 7:36-ish. Is that about right?
35.
Okay.
7:35.
7:35. Okay, thank you. So we're out of executive session at 8:12, and the superintendent's going to get us more information. I think We did have a contract that we signed, but it had been approved. It was a nurse's updated contract. We approved that. We had a vote on that a couple meetings ago. It was just the updated contract to reflect what our motion had been. So I signed that because we already voted on it. I think there's nothing else, and that wasn't part of the executive session. Just I forgot about it. It was sitting on the table. So if there's no other business to come before the board tonight, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Eli. Do I have a second?
Kate said.
I'm going to give that to Kate. Kate seconded. No discussion on the motion to adjourn. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Meredith, you good?
Stop, right?
Okay. Appears to be unanimous decision in the affirmative. It is. Thank you, everybody. Good meeting, Bob. Thank
Wednesday
you.
night?
Wednesday
Yeah,
night is
Wednesday.
Oktoberfest.